Hello, good evening, Chuempala, and good afternoon to us here on Mountain Time, and several other people from some parts of America and Europe and several other countries. I'm going to give you some time to spread the word around, to share with as many people as possible because we are live, okay? And so spread the word around by sharing. So you share, you invite people to like our page because we also want to reach as many people as possible. We mean it, right? We're not just trying to play around and then hope something works. No, we are deliberately asking you, and we believe in you, to spread the word around. Okay? We're going to have a very, very exciting discussion today. Now, we were supposed to have the UPND Vice President, Mrs. Mutale Nalumango. She was supposed to join us today. But unfortunately, because the UPND is extremely busy tonight, and there'll be a lot of exciting things coming up, but at least it's extremely busy tonight. So Honorable Mutale Nalumango could not make it, right? Now, of course, there is this something that they call, now, you see, it's broadcasting, so you must find somebody who should replace your original plan. So there is plan A, and then there is plan B. Now, guess who is the plan B? Guess who is the plan B? I'm going to bring him up right now. That's Mr. Norman Chpokupoku, you are my plan B.
Thank you so much, Munshya. Thank you. Good evening and greetings from Scotland.
Yes, thank you. So, is it good to be plan B?
I always want to be plan A, but I'm always ready to be plan B and plan C as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for your willingness and your flexibility. Now, I do understand something here. Dr. Kasonso could not join us again because these are the dynamics of the time difference.
Yeah.
Imwe while it's late, imwe kulaya. If we kuno, it's working time. So Dr. Kasonso is an accountant dealing with mathematics during the day because so we still can't have him, but we're going to make special arrangements. So, which makes you available because you are done with your day and you are busy relaxing. Instead of watching in Pali, you are here replacing Honorable Nalumango.
Well, I've just come back from voting. It's voting day in Scotland today. We're voting for a new government. So I've just voted for my preferred candidates and just cast my vote, and then came back home preparing to watch Impali. Then I made the option plan B, which is okay. It's an honor, really.
And I hope you continue being plan B.
Well, I would say anytime. In fact, I just wanted to say, first of all, good evening to Impala, and good evening, Zambia, and good evening to all your viewers, wherever they are.
Yeah, thank you. Now, we're going to give people a few more minutes to share with as many people as possible, and then we are going to get to the substance of what we are going to be talking about today. But I need to address something because from the previous broadcast, people are accusing me, Okwebati, Nali, I somehow insulted state council sangwa. So therefore kuipokolo lako. Mamana General Chpakopako. Therefore kuipokolo lako. All right? Okay. So thank you. We are going to get started. This is TV Bakwetu, and I have with me my plan B always. Okay? My plan B. And that is Mr. Norman Chpakupaku, also known as General. All right? General is his nickname because of his background in the army and in total military discipline, and due to his strong will and discipline. So that's why we have him here, and so he's very willing. Thank you very much for joining me. Now it's 1:37 here in Calgary. It's some other time along the west coast, east coast, Scotland, and in Zambia. So we are going to get started. Now
it's 2044 in Scotland.
All right. Now I need to address this matter. Now, Mr. Chipakupako, please give me an opportunity to address this. You know why?
Go ahead, Munshya.
Because I'm being misunderstood. You see, you are UPND member.
Yes, I am.
And so you are committed to defending the UPND and all the supporters of the UPND. Am I correct?
I will defend the UPND on principle, on its policies, and I'll defend the members. I only defend the members who do the right thing. For instance, I will not defend any UPND member who's violent. I won't do that. I'll call them up for violence. Nobody should be violent. But if they're campaigning peacefully, they're pushing the policies of the party, I will support them.
All right. Okay. Now, there's been one area where I have been greatly misunderstood, and that deals with the State Counsel John Sangwa and his petitions before the courts of our country. And so I just want to clear the air around that, because I feel like I've been misunderstood.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
The reason why we must do this is because some of the supporters from your party. Now, me, I support President Hakainde Hichilema. I think he will make a very good president. And at the moment, because we need a new party, I must freely say that the UPND at the moment offers the best team, the best manifesto, the best policies to remove President Lungu in August. I have no apology about that, you know? And so if I have to endorse any candidate for August, it is Mr. Hakainde Hichilema and his running mate. I don't know who the running mate is. Maybe it is me, or it is you, General, or it is the Vice President of the UPND. So there you have it. For the August elections, without reservations whatsoever or reluctance, I'm urging the people of Zambia to elect Hakainde Hichilema as president. I think the man has the vision, the man has the dreams, the man has the hopes, and the man has a plan. So why should we be sitting in the fence, in the middle, not knowing what we are looking for? So there you have it. What do you think about my endorsement, General?
Well, it's to start with, you are a Zambian, Munshya, and you've got the right to air your opinion. Even if you supported Lungu, I would still say that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. And we are no longer a one-party state. We're a multi-party state. So for me, I'm happy that you are openly supporting HH, because as it stands now, he is the best option for Zambia. There's no doubt about it.
Yes, it's true. Now, so that's the endorsement. Now, I need to do it reluctantly because my history with endorsements, particularly for the past 3 elections, have not been very good. Okay? So in 2015, I endorsed Edgar Lungu. And the reason why I endorsed Edgar Lungu was because I thought, and I was deceived, Imwe, you stood consistently against, you consistently stood against Sata. You consistently stood against Edgar Lungu, and I really respect you for that. But you see, for me, after the incoming of the Michael Sata presidency and its expiry in 2015, I thought that Edgar Lungu would bring some changes to the whole system. And I was overtaken by the false humility. And I was also overtaken because I did not want to see the Sata family continue governing the country. Because at that time, I think the vice president was trying to bring in Mrs. Christine Kaseva Sata. So that was the reason why I thought Edgar Lungu would be the best person. You know what happened. He became a disaster within a day of the presidency. Now, I have no loyalty at the Umuntu. No. I have loyalty to the people and the values of Zambia. So I changed my mind. And then, after that, in 2016, I endorsed, guess who? Let me not even talk about it. It was also a disaster. It has ended in a disaster. So in Mbona General, so Idiako endorsed, particularly from my experience with the three former people that I endorsed. So that's how I feel like it's not really gone well. I hope this one is the right decision. What do you think, General?
This is the right decision, Munshya. A lot of Zambians were really, first of all, when President Sata died, may his soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
I was looking around and saying, who's going to take over? Because I knew that my elder brother, Guy Scott, that constitution was not going to allow him to take over.
Right.
And I started asking myself, who is going to take over this boat and steer it correctly? I had a lot of issues with Mr. Sata, a lot of issues. But right. Mr. Sata, President Sata, may his soul rest in peace, was a well-experienced politician compared to Edgar Lungu. He had these issues. He was an experienced politician because he was a Kaunda trained boy or trained politician. But when I saw them going to the Congress in Mulungushi and using bricks fights, the first fight was at Mulungushi, I realized that we're heading for trouble.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Oh yes, there was no election. They didn't have elections that time. There were two functions, Mount Sampa and Guy Scott. There was Mrs. Sata, and then there was this man who pretended to be very humble, and they didn't vote for him. It was all an acclamation. And what beat me the worst is waking up judges at night. I just couldn't find
General. Judges work just like soldiers. Judges can be woken up at any time. Wow. So I just needed to correct that so that you know. Yeah.
So they woke up this judge and finally got in. And for me, I knew that was the beginning of the end. That was the beginning of trouble. Personally, I never knew Lungu very well. But from his words, from his actions, the first day in office, I knew that was a disaster.
All right. Okay. So I think we've now atoned for our sin. So once if we na Zambia, in 2015 and 2016, we sinned against each other by electing President Edgar Lungu. Is there redemption for us, General Chipakapa?
Every time a nation must learn from its mistakes. And you know, as a Christian country, we always have to remember that every time there's a lesson, even in the Bible, there's a lesson in leadership.
Yeah.
Let's go to David himself. The story of David is a very, very big lesson. Let's go to Joseph. You know, all these stories are there for us to learn a very, very big lesson.
Yeah.
God probably was teaching us a lesson to say, learn from your past mistakes. And you know, for me, I always pray and say, God, why did you find a person like HH, because I don't think I am HH's time.
Yeah.
But HH is a fighter. His perseverance is what is really, really, really made me feel like we're having hope.
Right.
He would have given up. He's comfortable, but he has not done that. He has not changed.
I
Despite
agree.
being arrested.
Inganda alikwata, abakashi alikwata, n'abaana alifyala, n'amafamu alikwata, n'amakampani alikwata. So he's comfortable.
He's comfortable, but he has not changed. His attitude has not changed. They jailed him for 127 days. He came up. He would have been very bitter. He forgave these people. They've insulted, they called him a Satanist. He is, this man is still going strong. And not only that, I've closely worked with him now.
Right.
And I know that he has got plans. He knows what he's talking about. Just look at what he posted about Eastern Province this morning. He knows exactly what's there to be done in Eastern Province.
Right.
So God is teaching us a lesson that not everything that glitters is gold alone, as they say. Not everything which looks humble is humble.
Now, Mr. Chipakupako, you've said something about when he posted about Eastern Province. And this is what I talk about when I met him. Okay. Now, I know he's definitely done he follows me. He's seen the way we've advocated for human rights. And so I do appreciate that probably he saw and he knows about me. But in my meeting with Mr. Hakainde Hichilema at his house in December, he was able to tell me that he knows Milenge, he knows Chiwempala, the two areas that I care for mostly. I don't care about Chipata, but the two the two places that I really care for mostly being Chiwempala and Milenge. And he told me exactly the things that were happening in Chiwempala that very week. So he's somebody who really cares about the country, and I think we need to let the country know that given the choices that we have in this particular election, the best person to lead and provide leadership to our country is Mr. Hakainde Hichilema.
He knows Zambia in and out. He sees potential for every province. Every province has its own potential. And I can tell you that HHC sees that potential. And not only that, I strongly believe that we need a person like HH now to reunite our country. Because I think we're a very divided country. We need somebody to bring us back to where Kaunda had taken us, Zambia, a real one Zambia, one nation. And we need somebody like HH.
Right. Okay. I do agree. Now, having said that, we need to deal with the elephant in the room because, General, the issue is there are some misunderstandings about my position regarding the petitions. I want to clear that, and I hope I'll do it once and for all. And I'm here to be accountable to you, right? So that I'm very clearly accountable here. Now, this is what I said, and I'm going to say it because like a politician. No, I'm not a politician. So, this petition, if you go that going to the Constitutional Court to try and stop Edgar Lungu from standing, is not going to work. And what I said was, it's simple common sense. Now, it's simple common sense. People are accusing me of people that are petitioning in court. What I'm saying is that these kind of petitions are a waste of time, waste of resources, and a waste of common sense. And so if there are some UPND supporters, anything. No, all I am saying is these petitions are not going to work. One, because they are not based on the law. Simple common sense. General, what do you think? Do you agree with me?
First of all, Article 52 of the Constitution gives any citizen the right to petition. So,
yes,
John Sangwa State Council has got the right to petition if he feels that there is something which has been done which is against the Constitution.
Right. Yeah.
So he has got that right.
Yes.
And can I remind your viewers again, Munshya, that Bill 10, which you and I fought very hard against, they were trying to strike down Article 52.
Yes.
Because that they didn't want Zambians to petition anybody. They wanted you to petition after somebody has been elected, which can't work.
Right.
So my response to you is that John Sangwa has got a right to petition.
Yes. Yes.
And you could be right that we're wasting time. For me, my view is, I've just said this afternoon, bring Lungu on. Let's beat him in an election. I think he'll be the easiest candidate to beat, because we know him, we know his weaknesses, we know everything. So bring him on.
Right. You know what? So I agree in the sense that we need to deal with the election in August, and I've already given my endorsement for Mr. Hakainde Hichilema and the UPND. Every voter in Zambia should think seriously about this. And we agreed on that. But it is this idea that when I give my opinion regarding some legal topics, some people think that I'm just trying to play around or I've defected or I'm supporting Lungu. No, I'm not. All I'm saying is that this idea of going back to the Constitutional Court with all these arguments has already been settled in the Danipule case. And for me, I can't support. Yeah, but no, it's a legal, it's something that is legally viable. It is not legally viable. There is no court in Zambia that is going to agree, to reverse a decision that has already been passed. And so that is where I come in. And I'm sorry if some people feel disappointed, but I don't think that the current actions in the Constitutional Court are going to be successful or are legally justifiable.
But Munshya, our lawyers, Zambian lawyers, are very interesting. You can differ over matters of law, which is allowed, which is good. That's why one time Mr. Edgar Lungu said that ministers were allowed to continue in office, which was wrong. But he argued that and argued until he was proven to be wrong. So you've got the right to have your opinion, to say it's a waste of time. And I think John Sangwa State Council has got the right as well under Article 52, if he feels like the Constitution has been violated, to petition. But my view is in the middle. Bring Edgar Lungu on a clean, free, no violence election. We want to beat him clean. And I would like Zambia to go and vote queue up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Right. Now, here's the other thing. We are not creating a distinction. So, in addition to discussion of politics, but I also need our people to have clarity as far as the legal matters are concerned, as far as the law is concerned. When we say Article 52, the actions that have been started in the Constitutional Court have nothing to do with Article 52, because Article 52 comes after a nomination, after somebody files in a nomination.
Yeah.
And so that is a very separate action. What I'm disagreeing with you now with now is this idea that something can be done to reverse the Danipule case. The other thing is this idea that the Danipule case was not clear. And my argument is the Danipule case was clear. Here it is. It's very clear that the 17 months that straddled two constitutional regimes is not going to be counted. That is what the Danipule case says. And so all I'm saying is that's what this decision said. Let us move on to August, and let us do the right thing. Of course, I've used some very choice language, but that's who I am. Because if you don't get a common sense, common sense. No, at your no, I know there's some people who are so diplomatic, like you, General. You are extremely diplomatic. But so that is why I'm doing this, because any idea, first of all, it is not true. If somebody comes to me and tells me that Dan Pule case was not clear, that I disagree. This thing is clear. It settled all the arguments that we have between terms of office, serving twice, elected twice, sworn in twice. This is what this decision deals with. All these arguments, they've been explained in this decision. So I shouldn't appear like why this thing was not clear. It is. Yeah, it is.
Well, my take is this, Munshya. I'm not a lawyer. For your viewers, they know that I'm not a lawyer. I'm a business management specialist and a former soldier.
Yeah.
Now, my take is that the State Council Sangwa's petition, the current petition, has something to do with the process, the electoral process. That is the actual affidavit which is completed by the presidential candidates.
Yes.
And my take, because it's in court, I wouldn't want to deal much with that. It's that he's challenging the change in the affidavit, the wording in the affidavit, which is supposed to be declared by a presidential candidate.
Right.
The issue of the MP for Katuba was asking for clarification on the Danny Pule case.
Yeah. And
my understanding of the Danny Pule case is that Mr. Lungu was not named in that case.
Yeah.
There was an academic question raised by Pule and others.
Yeah.
Mr. Lungu was not petitioned in that case. And as I said again last week, you've got your own rule in law which says we cannot cut somebody's head when he's not there. You cannot talk about Mr. Lungu. He was not named in that Dan Pule case. That was an academic and theoretical question asked. That's why it was amended by the court. So that's my take. Going to Article 52. Article 52 it gives opportunity to any citizen to petition when the candidate has filed their nomination.
Yeah. Yeah. And my honest opinion is it's not going anywhere. Okay. Even this affidavit thing, there are two complicated legal arguments, but the affidavit challenge, maybe it's in court. We're not going to comment on this one because it is in court. All right. But we'll see where it goes. Anyway, so Munjerereko I can't change it. I should apologize. Apologize for what? No. Anyway, so let's look at some of the comments and questions that people have. I'm going to share the link again so that if you have a question, you can share it with us and General Paku, our standing Plan B person today, because I was going to be talking to the Vice President.
Before we go for the questions, Munshya, I think your viewers would like to know that there's a new alliance which has been formed today.
Okay.
And
you tell me, I don't know which alliance.
You don't know.
Yeah, which alliance?
KBF and Mutati, Mwansa, the Northern Bloc has come up forming the alliance which says which is entitled the Zambia they want. Well, we want according to them. So there's a new alliance which has been formed this afternoon. KBF, there are four political parties. What is strange is that my brother Nevas Mumba, my young brother Nevas Mumba is not there. and my little brother Hari Kalaba is not there as well. And what is strange is that all these people in this alliance are from the same region.
Oh,
very
okay.
strange. Very strange.
That's why when you say it's an alliance, I'm surprised because there is no alliance there. What alliance is there? You see, Ganalanda foot, people will be on me at why are you talking against a senior council? No, in Indandeshan about KBF. At Tishan, at Navapanga alliance with who? No.
Well,
that is not.
Can I?
Let me.
Can I update your viewers that we have known that for the last few weeks there have been meetings and meetings at night somewhere in the Copper Belt, including some chiefs involved, because they want their own people to be a presidential candidate or the running mate. So so that is where this alliance is coming from. So let's wait and see what's going to happen, which is very, very interesting. But the most interesting thing is that this alliance is made of same people. Some of them who formed PF.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the next 3 months will be very interesting. 2 months will be very interesting.
For me, there is no alliance there really. There is no alliance, pretty much. I don't think there is. I don't think it's an alliance. It was probably a meeting to. Did they dance? Were they dancers at the meeting?
Oh well, there was the national anthem there, and which was very good. And as usual, all our Zambian politicians are starting with a prayer, which is fantastic, which is very, very good. And then there was a slogan, "The Zambia we want."
Okay.
I've changed that slogan myself to "The Zambia they want."
No. So as far as we are concerned, you and me are in total agreement that there is no alliance there. On running mate, I don't know. Definitely, the UPND's running mate is likely to be Bemba. So for sure. So it will either be the vice president of the UPND or some other Bemba. I don't foresee a situation where the UPND is going to field without a Bemba running mate. I'm sorry. Have I disappointed you, General?
My comment reserved.
You are so wise. That's why I always want you here, because you are so wise. Your comments are reserved. That's the way I see it. I don't know, but anyway, we'll see. If it's Honorable Mtalena Lumango, it's excellent. It will be an excellent choice. We thought again, we thought it was going to be the UPND-NDC alliance, but of course you fought against the UPND-NDC alliance. But anyway, we'll see. But as for the alliance that took place today of the Zambia they want, it's not an alliance at all. I don't think we should even think seriously about it. But obviously you think seriously about it. Me, I don't. Yeah. Okay. Now there's some. Okay. Let's see some comments here. If I miss your comment, it's not because I'm just trying to be. It's not because I'm just trying to be mischievous. We have several comments, and so we have to just jump from one line to another. Sorry about that. Okay. Atinganda Wakashi farms alikwata. He was commenting about the list of things that HH has. Kainga alikwata. Abana alifiana. Abakashi alikwata. Inganda alikula. Ama farms alikwata. So what else does he want? Alefo kuteke chalo. Pakwa na ifutuka kwate kwefyo akwata.
And he's not going to steal. What is he going to steal which he doesn't have?
But that's not valid, because even rich people, they steal. Are you telling me that the only people stealing under Lungu are poor people? I'm
not saying that. What I'm saying is that the chances of you stealing when you don't have anything are high. That's a fact.
No. The poorer we are, the more likely we are to steal. I don't think so.
Well, let me say this publicly. If when HH becomes president and I hear that he has stolen, I'll be the first one to fight him, because there's no need. He's got everything. I'll be the first one to come up and say this is wrong.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think HH. We don't know, but at least what we know at the moment is that he has the best plan to help redeem our country. You know
exactly.
What is that plan? Economic plan. He has a plan on Kaloba. Yeah. And you know, General, what I like about HH and this plan against Kaloba is simple. When he was asked, how are you going to dismantle the debt? This was his answer. And I will sell the presidential jet and use that money as down payment on the debt. I think that is where I said this man should govern.
How do you drive a Mercedes-Benz when your children have got no food? How would you feel? How would you feel in the morning wearing a suit in a Mercedes-Benz, driving to work, meanwhile your children have got no food? That's how Zambians should feel when their president is flying in that luxurious jet. When students in the university have no meal allowance, when doctors have no protective clothing, when doctors are queuing up for jobs, it doesn't make sense. Yeah,
I agree. That's why HI says the first thing, akasampuishendeke, akayashtishendeke, akapange munangu, is it 60 million? Yes, 60 million, akaeripirako on Kaloba. That's a very good plan. But I wonder, what is he going to be using? If he sells that luxury jet?
There are a lot of commercial flights. If he wants to go to Chipata, he can fly on any. What is a plane? It's just a plane. Why should you have a plane which has got a fridge inside and a bar inside and missile? What for?
Manone, amanone. Message paku. Amanone. Okumfo bwino. Okudemfo. That's what they want.
How about missiles? Why should you have a jet which has got missiles? Who's going to shoot you down? No, there's no need.
I know you won't like it, Malawans.
No, the Malawans will never shoot you down.
I like the way you push back when I say Malawans can shoot us.
Can I try to explain why? Can I try to explain why, Munshya, to your audience? Kamuzu Banda tried to take over Eastern Province. I was a soldier at that time. Kaunda just told him try, and we told him we are going to sort you out. Malawi can never try it. He wanted to take Eastern Province. The boundary, according to Kamuzu Banda, was supposed to be Rwangwa, and we told him no, don't even try.
Okay.
So Malawi will be the last country to attack us.
So then why does the plane have missiles? Why should that plane have missiles?
Ask the president. It has got an anti-missile system. What for? Ask him. Why should you do that?
But I'm telling you, it's because of Malawans. Huh?
No, Malawans will never attack Zambia. After all, we are one people. And Malawians will never attack Zambia because we're the same people. We speak the same language.
Yeah, that's why that border is all.
Yeah.
You see, I'm supporting the UPND and President Hakainde, but I've also got my own plan, which is known as the Chiwempala plan. Under the Chiwempala plan, what we would do under the Chiwempala plan, what we propose is every Malawan who finds themselves in Zambia, they are given 6 months free residence permit. There will be nothing like no following up Malawans and then no. As long as a Malawan crosses into Zambia, 6 months free residence. All they need is a little paper that says I'm a Malawan of village Shanshani, and they are free in Zambia. Not the current law, which treats Malawans as illegal aliens.
Munshya, I live on the border with Malawi. I live on the border with Malawi at a place called Mchinji. That's exactly what is happening. You get a piece of paper, you can cross into Malawi anytime, into Chipata anytime. The only problem is that they overstay. They end up overstaying because Amanone, as you call them.
They overstay because when they cross over, they see we have Mandahiu and Arcades, and they don't want to go back to the Lilongwe. Is that what you are saying?
Well, they do, and some of them stay forever and end up trying to be president, which is strange.
Okay, all right, okay, that's understandable. Anyway, we diverted to that. Anyway, so I'm trying to see the comments here. Munshya, you are behind with this KBF alliance. Of course, I know what General was talking about. All I was trying to point to drive at is the fact that it is not an alliance at all. An alliance. Yeah. Thanks, Bachwempala, for your fair interpretation of the law. Okay? At least there are some people who think that my interpretation is fair. Even if you don't, it's okay, General. You'll catch up with me as well.
Well, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer.
No. Now, Chilufya Tayali has been arrested. Have you heard about this?
Well, just before we came on air, I got the news that Chilufya Tayali has been arrested. The information is that he had broadcast something and said something against the president. I don't follow Tayari. It's a waste of time, so I don't know what it is.
Neither do I. I don't follow. But obviously, our listeners care about Mr. Chilufya Tayali. I don't.
I have no time for him.
Yeah, I took him. Should I say this? I put him in a dustbin. Now, kupika napo, and I threw it away. I have nothing to do with the gentleman. I'm sorry.
I had the courtesy of phoning Tayari to give him counsel, advice, because Tayari is just like my son. He's probably younger than my firstborn. And I tried to counsel him. He became rude, and I decided I was not going to waste my time on Tayari. So those who follow Tayari, please, you can continue wasting your time. Let me tell you what I think about the boy. I think he's a deranged young boy, and he needs help.
Anyway, so that's the answer, Taonga, that Mr. Chilufya Tayali, unfortunately, he's been arrested. We don't know what. Maybe he said some things that border on national security. I'm not sure. But that's why here we have Mr. Chipakupaku here, who is able to steer the conversation so that we don't fall into the same trap, So that's why when people say soldiers, Mr. Chipakupaku is able to say, no, Zambian soldiers are extremely disciplined. They can't pull a Zimbabwe on a legitimately elected government in Zambia. And so we are very happy to hear that. We are not careless people. We know when we are talking about a politician, a commander-in-chief who is a politician, we know. But we don't implicate matters of national security, like making all these wild allegations. We don't do that. All we say is that but they give him a dongo, but we don't insult. We call him Bashkadongo. In other words, we mock him. But we don't insult, because insulting the president is an offense, of course.
Yeah, Mr. Munshya, I want to repeat again, in case there are new viewers. I took oath in December 1971 that was going to defend Zambia, the constitution of Zambia, and the people of Zambia.
Yeah.
So I will never betray my country. That oath, I took it. So I will never defend, I will never go against Zambia, never. But it doesn't mean that when a president is wrong, I should not tell him. I will tell him, because Zambia is far to me. Zambia is not the president. Zambia is the people of Zambia. It's bigger than the president, it's bigger than me. And the Zambian constitution is bigger than the president. So when Mr. Lungu goes wrong, I'll tell him. And in this case, We have given him 7 years. He has messed up our country. I think it's time for him to go.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's really messed up, and I agree. And this is what we've been telling the people of Zambia. Now, there is the KCM issue as well, Mr. Chipaku. And you see, this is very characteristic of the Lungu government. So we hear something has happened, they deny, they deflect, only to go back to the same thing. Bloomberg is quoting that they spoke with the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Mines, who assured them that KCM is broke.
They don't want to.
They stopped work on one of the shafts, Nchanga deep shafts. And today KCM is denying that they ever say that.
The PF government would never tell you the truth.
Yeah.
The PF government would never tell you the truth. When we said they failed to pay the loans, they said, no, it's not true.
Right.
The first loan they failed the default on was the ADB bank loan. It was actually a loan which was meant to pay for oil. They failed to pay for that.
Right.
And when we told the Zambian people that the government had failed to service the ADB loan, they said no. The following day they agreed because it was true. So the same with the Eurobonds.
Right.
They will never accept to say the truth. This is the truth. The truth is that KCM has been milked to the bone. That's it.
Right. Right. I agree. I think that's what happened as far as KCM is concerned. They really milked it. And that's what we've been saying, that it's a fundraising opportunity, because the manner in which they appointed the liquidator leaves a lot of questions. And then they appointed a liquidator who is aligned to the Patriotic Front. That is a question. And so the way they are conducting themselves, gives us all these questions. The way they went to court, their conduct in court, and in fact, the contradiction in what they are saying. I think all this must end on August 12 when the people of Zambia vote for which candidate?
And I think that's when the Zambians will know the truth about KCM.
Which candidate are they voting for, Mr. Chipaku?
Well, my candidate is very, very clear. It's HH.
Yeah.
The candidate is very, very clear. The candidate who has got a plan, who knows what he's doing, for me, it's the confidence which the investors will have. Yeah. Because the truth is that we don't have any foreign direct investment coming through into the country now. I think the last 1 year, even the donors, we talk to the donors. We know what these donors are saying.
Yeah.
They have no confidence in this government.
It's true.
Most of the European countries withdrew their funding to the Ministry of Health. That's a fact.
Right. We need to correct something here. Amos is saying that, talking about missile on the presidential jet is serious allegations. I don't know what it means. The way I heard you were saying that the jets are equipped with anti-missile technology.
Exactly.
And our thing is, why put anti-missile technology? You're protecting yourself from which missile? That's what we're asking. Because we don't have a lot of money to be spending on luxurious things like an anti-missile technology on a presidential plane. For who? And that's why I always say for Malawans. And the reason why I say Malawans is to provide this rhetorical effect for people of Zambia to realize that so you're putting an anti-missile technology that you buy for millions of dollars and say that that is what a president of Zambia needs. When in fact, Kaunda, who was fighting a real war, right? He was fighting a real war. All he was using was I am a soldier, of how to hide himself, where to hide himself, and underground tunnels. Underground tunnels. That's where he was hiding. No more procedures. Why should the president buy himself an expensive jet, fit it with fridges, lounges, everywhere comfortable, not only for himself, but for his friends? That is why we are saying no. That's why President Hichilema bakashitisha ndege ije bakasampuisha.
First, the other thing, Munshya, is that I've always wanted to ask Zambians, where is the Challenger jet? How much was it sold for? If there's any Zambian who can tell me where the Challenger jet is, and was it sold? How much was it sold for? Big challenge. Big challenge.
Did it have anti-missile capability, that Challenger jet?
They had a Challenger jet which was being used by the former president. The question is, where is this jet? Where is it parked? And was it sold? And if it was sold, how much was it auctioned for?
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Now we have 10 minutes, General, because we're going to keep this talk to strictly 1 hour. We're not going to go beyond it.
No.
Because each time I bring you here, we overstay. Because they all like you. They like the way you expound things, and then they like your experience. They don't come for me. They come for you, General. Anyway.
No, they come for Munshya. You're the lawyer, man.
No. Okay, fine. I'm humble. I'm very humble from Chuempala. So I accept that. They come for me. Okay. Now, we have 10 minutes and there are adoptions going on. Have you heard of the Patriotic Front adoptions? What is your opinion on them?
Well, the first thing I can tell you is that some ministers have been dropped, and including my good friend Martin Malama, who I thought could have made a very good minister of Home Affairs instead of Kampiongo. Martin Malama has been dropped and replaced by Sunday Chanda, which is really, really sad for in Kanchibia. And my good friend Charles Kakoma is going back to Zambezi West. And we also hear that some ministers are not going to stand in PF. They've also adopted in Southern Province some UPND people who never applied to stand.
It's confusion. Anyway, what happens to Dr. Martin Malama?
Martin Malama, he's a gentleman. I've known Martin for a long time. He's too gentle. Martin Malama was supposed to stick as a professional police officer, a forensic specialist, and he's not. He's not a politician. That guy should have been Inspector General or Home Affairs Minister. Right. But unfortunately, I'll say this: Martin Malama couldn't fit in PF. He's not the type. But just follow his discussions, his debate in Parliament. You would see that the man is being forced to say what you are saying. Okay. I feel really sorry for him. But he's a professional man. He's a well-qualified man, trained here in Scotland at Edinburgh University. I have a lot of respect for Malama. But for him to be replaced by Sunday Chanda, really, it's really, really sad.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. I shouldn't say much because you know, I knew Elder Malama from assemblies, North Assemblies of God, and so Bakaya, and so is Sunday Chanda. Anyway, so anyway, I leave it up tabatuka Bakaya. So inshallah ndesana pa Bakaya. So in Southern Province, we understand that some from UPND have been taken in, but it appears like the PF is trying to destabilize the UPND process, though.
That's the idea. The PF had decided to sponsor candidates in the UPND just to bring confusion. Some of them were identified, some of them were not identified. Let's wait until the announcements are made. Right. But they were deliberately sponsoring candidates to try and raise confusion in Southern Province, Western Province, Northwestern Province, Lusaka, and Copperbelt.
Right. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. What do you think about the UPND's adoption of candidates itself? Do you think it's going on course? Any surprises?
It's going on course. There'll be a few surprises, but it's going on course. And the truth is that they'll try and get the best candidates. There might be one or two controversial decisions, which is very, very normal, because they have to investigate certain things. But right. I think they are going to give us good candidates. They are going to be very, very good candidates, and we'll have a lot of women and a lot of young people.
Am I a young person? Do I qualify, General?
As far as we are concerned, Munshya, you are young, because you are less than 50. So anybody who's less than 50 is young.
Now, General, do you believe the rumors that I was being earmarked for running mate?
Well, you never know. The man who's going to nominate his running mate is quiet. He's not telling us who. It could be you, Munshya. You never know.
You're so wise. Herbert Bilika, please come in. Tell us. We have very few minutes. What do you think?
Uncle Munshya, how are you?
I'm very well.
Okay,
I'm with Mr. Norman Chpaku here. Now, just to be clear, Mr. Norman Chpaku is plan B. We were going to have the UPND vice president today. So go ahead.
I saw the post, and the plan B is quite awesome. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, Uncle Munshya, I have a question for you.
Yes.
To start with, to some extent, I agree with you with what's happening in the courts and everything like that. I also don't agree that this thing is going to pull through, that the president is going to be turned down through the court process. So now, if it's not going to be turned down through the court process, could it be that we've lost confidence in the judiciary system? Or could it be that the judicial system that we have currently in the country does not support the rights and the will of the people, but it supports the interests of individuals? And if that's so, is it right to call Zambia a democratic nation?
That question is very loaded. Let's do this now. If, in addition to liking our page and asking people to like our page, don't forget to buy stars from Facebook and then send stars to us, to this page. I thought stars were free. Apparently, they are not free. You buy them from Facebook and then you send them to us. That's something else. Anyway, particularly diaspora Zambians, because your accounts are already connected. So it's a very simple transaction, you know, because we need those stars so that we can keep the dream of TV Bakwetu alive. Now, the question that Herbert Bilika has asked is not very... Here is my problem. We have made this into a bigger deal than it actually is. Giving President Lungu another 17 months is not too bad. It's not completely out of reasonability. No. The reason is there are elections in August, so we are going to vote him out. Secondly, the other thing is the Constitution 2016 brought a lot of change. In my opinion, this is what I think. I think that judges were quite pragmatic when the application came before them. They thought about a president who had done so much in 2015 to sign a constitution that he had not actually read, which stripped him of some powers and created new institutions for our country. Never underestimate the power of Constitution 2016 that Edgar Lungu signed before he knew how to read. If Lungu had, I'm telling you, if Lungu had stayed and read that constitution, he was not going to sign it. He signed it before he knew how to read. And after he signed it, he realizes that there is a big issue there. And then I think judges, I don't think it was part of the way they were reasoning, but in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if they said, you know what, this guy had already given up so much. He's asking for an extra 17 months. Let's go ahead and give him if he wins in August. Case closed. The problem that I have is making this into such a huge scandal that it is not. That is the only problem that I have. Because we have suddenly turned it into a scandal that it is not. Number one, that decision does not say that Articles 106 are not effective, or 103 or 106 are now been ignored out of the Constitution. No. That decision only deals with Lungu, who straddles two constitutional regimes, 1996 and 2016. That's it. He's asking for an extra 17 months if he wins in August. That's it. When this country was faced with Bill 10, which we read, we read Bill 10, and we found the problems that were with Bill 10. We were very honest with the people of Zambia that Bill 10 is a huge, huge problem. And we thank God for the UPND MPs who stood with us, agreed with us, and rejected it. If you are about this thing about the constitutionalism in Zambia rises or falls on the Danipule case, in my opinion, it's not correct. Because judges, those are the options that judges had. They were either going to say yes or to say no. I think they were quite pragmatic, in my opinion. They were quite pragmatic to yumuntu taberengere elwasaina. In that constitution, let's say what will be happening in 5 days, which is the dissolution of parliament. Is it 5 days?
6 days.
5 days, parliament will be dissolved in Zambia. Under Constitution 2016, it was the prerogative of the president to decide when to dissolve parliament and to choose which day to hold elections. In Constitution 2016, huge change. It took that power from the president and gave it to the Constitution and said it is the Constitution now to dissolve parliament, when the president should dissolve parliament, and even put the date of the election. Which means if you are Edgar Lungu and you want to rig this election, you know when this election is going to be held? In the rainy season, like Chiluba did in 2001, when Chiluba stole the election from Mazoka. It happened during the festive season. It happened when it was raining. And in Dekeshaide, Mukusenda, Ifma ballots, we don't know what happened in Luapula with those plans. Shabwela with something. Now, in this case, this constitution that Lungu signed before he knew how to read, it took away power from him. That is a very huge thing that helps our democracy. Number if tuaikanira pala penati yom kwa Lungu kanshi ifine what and what. No. I think it's an extra 17 months, depending on what happens in August.
Okay.
And then after August, the law continues operating as it has always been operating under 106. The other thing that I disagree with is this idea that AMA lawyers, they were part of this decision here at Danipule. They made all these arguments in Danipule. They lost before the judges. After Balusa, they come and tell us that no, they are going to rehash the same arguments, and this time they are going to win. All I'm saying is, Aravane, let's just be honest, you know. I am arguments in this case. There is that decision was so wrong. When you see Amashina lawyers, very senior constitutional lawyers, Mutale Sikota Maripenga, Bwali Lungu, Jere, Kalaluka Mwansa, Simachela, Tipu, Shamabo, Kazimba, Sangwa, Airiko, whatever. Sorry, Amashina Yambi, Mwemba. All these were the lawyers. Number after film to Mwisamuku to be Pokobat, no. Arguments in Danipule are not the same things that they are talking about. I'm not going to say just because I support the UPND, therefore, whatever they are saying, challenge Edgar Lungu in court, it's going to work. No, this thing is past. And we lost. If we arguments to work, they lost. And I think why were they lost? In pragmatism, my judges uyu 17 months, ngawena August. That's it.
Okay, so
I don't know whether that helps.
Yeah, it has really helped, Uncle Munshya. So in that case, I agree with you where you say that it's boots down. So it's just a matter of going on the ground now, mobilizing. And on this one, I can congratulate General because I'm witnessing what is happening in the Eastern Province.
Yeah.
So the groundwork is really getting done so well. I don't know what you're doing, Kuchu Mpala, because we really need good results even there as well. So it's just a matter of going on the ground now, sensitizing and letting people know that it's just about a high time we change the system. We have had enough of the 10 years that this government has been there. We've seen what they've offered. It's time we tried something else. It's time we tried someone else. Now we nenga firwa. Tukesha kochwe mpala plan. A program.
General Namumfwa. General Namumfwa. Listen, have you heard from Herbert Biriga?
The message is loud and clear. Zambia,
and he fails. Chwempala plan.
Of course. That Herbert, thank you so much for your contribution. We have Zambia, you've got 6 days before Parliament is dissolved. You've got the ballot box, you've got the ballot paper, and your NRC. That is your biggest weapon. So please do not hesitate. Go to the ballot box and change government because it's your right.
All right. Thank you. Now, General, I promise that we're going to end at you. Look at this. I can't. Mwene, tell us something.
Yes, Council. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah.
General, I see you. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening.
Fine, thank you. First of all, my question goes to Council. I don't know whether I got you rightly. You said something like he will be given 17 months. Does it mean after 17 months there will be another president? I need clarity on that.
No. What I meant was Balungu Batampiro Teka in 2015. That was his first term, 2015 to 2016. That is his first term. Okay.
Yeah.
Not quite the feedback. I'm wondering where the feedback is.
We have got feedback. I think when can you get your earpieces off?
Okay, I've muted him.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So what I meant was the first term. So under Constitution 2016, a person can rule up to 12 years, right? Depending on at what point they begin ruling, right? So if you're vice president or if you are a person who takes over, and when you take over, you rule for less than 3 years, they say that it's not going to be counted. So there is a possibility that a range of a presidential term in Zambia is a range between 8 to about 12 years. So basically, when I say an extra 17 months, I mean the one that he ruled in his first term, which is 2015 to 2016. And of course, I'm going to get pushback here because people are going to tell me then it's a third term. No, that is not the language that applies in Constitution 2016. Because under Constitution 2016, actually, yes, a person can rule beyond 10 years if they started ruling, if their first term was they took over as vice president or they took over as the other person who takes over from a dead or resigned president. So when I say 17 months, I actually mean that 2015 to 2016, because that was the subject of litigation. That's very important. The 2015-2016 is what was decided in the Danny Pule case. The 2015 to 2016, that term, that 17 months, That is what was decided in the Danipole case. The Danipole case did not decide a very general, complicated concept of law. All it dealt with was, how are we going to handle the 17 months that straddle between two constitutional eras? They were going to either say no or they were going to say yes. They decided to lean towards how 2016 looks at a term, and then they read it into the 2015 to 2016 and say that no, for the purpose of our 2016 constitution, we are not going to regard it as a term. And in my opinion, I think it was just a pragmatic way to resolve a very complicated situation. Bali bomfuira ko luse balungu kwebati balungu basaina constitution ilo tabaraishu okuberenga oluse FX. I hope that helps it. Alabuafia. Ale mwene
still on.
Are you done?
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. All right. So I hope that at least clarifies my position, because it's been subject to so many. I wonder, Njebere, why do people complicate if it's complicated? A lawyer, I became a lawyer mubukote. So if you ever go back that law is the only field, it does not apply to me. I became a lawyer at 37. Bambi Momo, you started doing law at 20. You are a lawyer. A 20-year-old, you are a lawyer. At 20 years old, you need to be a soldier, so that your experience is much more broader as a soldier. Not a 20-year-old lawyer. At least you've been through different experiences. As a lawyer, because you are not going to be following Tonso Tuma rules. No, to fee, to abamulo. Because umuntu ale mibepa. He was one of the lawyers in this decision. It was that they changed the question. If a person changes the question, a judge changes the question, I could pay a decision. You can go back and say, Nakane decision mwalanda within 2 days or 3 days. Number after months, they changed the question. And my fellow Zambians, you believe it to go back, that's a genuine grievance. It could be a genuine grievance to you. No, but as far as law is concerned, it's not a genuine grievance. I could pay a decision, he should be right. Judge if you mwalanda, and they address your concerns at that time. Anyway, let me stop this. Alain, General.
Well, I think the message is very clear to the Zambians. We've only got 6 days before Parliament is dissolved. And what it means is that there will be no ministers, and there will only be the vice president, the president and the vice president who are entitled to use government property. And the rest of them are not supposed. Those who are changing the GRZ cars to private cars now, Zambians will find out. We know them. Yeah. And they should not even try. So 6 days time, Parliament is dissolved, which means we are going for elections. Yeah. For me, really, it's not a matter of wasting time. I think all the Zambians who want change must go on the ground and mobilize. And that's why my message has been very, very clear. Eyes on the ball, Zambia, mobilize.
Yes.
And let's change government peacefully with a bang on the 12th of August. And let's try this new man and see what he does. If he fails, we will change government again. But let's give this man chance. Let's give HH chance. To me, he has shown that he's mature, he's consistent, and he has got a plan.
Yeah, I think for us, from all of us here at TV Bakwetu, me and General Norman Chipakopako, we are telling you, and we've already endorsed Mr. Haga in the Hichlema, so that you people in Zambia, mwebaka vota, nkesa, ndesa mkuvota, nkesa. At Chuempala, that's where I'm voting from, Chuempala. August 12 at Chuempala Community Hall. Let us all vote together for Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to be Zambia's next president. In 4 days, Parliament is dissolved. You are all going to freely campaign. We don't expect any further problems because Kampiongo will be a former minister of Home Affairs. And whoever it is, so it will just be President Lungu and the caretaker president with Bamama Inonge Wina, the vice president, for at least 3 months. In that 3 months, let's work together, work hard, boots on the ground, to see that this government, as Dr. Kasonso says, at Akashimikawa Lungu, Nishigapera, August, Nishigapera. Okay, so thank you very much, General, for standing in as Plan B.
Thank you so much. For the Zambians, during these 3 months, the president and the vice president will have no powers to borrow money. So if they borrow any money during this period, it's illegal. So let me be very, very clear about that.
No. Okay, no. I think this will get us somewhere else.
No, that's a fact. That it must be made very, very clear. They cannot sign any new loans in between because that will be illegal.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me and Mr. Norman Chipakupaku all the way from Scotland. From here in Calgary, Alberta, this is 14:48 hours, Thursday. And this has been Elias Munshya. Thank you so much for joining us. May God bless you and God bless our country. Do not forget to send stars to TV Vakwetu because we need those stars, particularly Imwe, la diaspora. Why should you be enjoying free TV? Thank you and God bless our country. All right. Thank you.